Good morning, Internet. Esma gets attacked by something. We are a special place today, and hopefully we can share this with you. The name of this place is Tongli Town. Tongli Town is an ancient Chinese town. It's 11:30 in the morning, and we're just entering the main entrance into the ancient town. Tongli Town is famous all over the world as one of the 6 water towns south of the Yangtze River. Its river streets, bridges, civil residences and gardens are integrated perfectly as one, therefore earning it the name of the Oriental Venice due to this unique water town scenery. Tongli has been built in the Song Dynasty around 960 to 1279, and it's nestled to the east of the Beijing Hangzhou Grand Canal by the Taihu Lake in the Wujiang District. Tongli is about 80 kilometers west of Shanghai and about 10 kilometers southeast of Suzhou. Okay, we just entered Tongli through here, the ancient town, and we just picked up this map here at the tourist center. And yeah, basically this is the park area where you have to pay to come in inside, and then on the outside of this is where people still live exactly the way they did 300 years ago. Now we're going to be visiting most of these: the Pearl Tower, Chokwin Hall, Memorial Hall, the Tuishi Garden. We'll visit all of this, and we'll try and bring as much video as we can. Obviously, television wasn't too great 1,000 years ago, or even 300 years ago. So the stage was pretty much center part of the town, where they had productions by local people, by people coming from afar. And yeah, pretty much the center of attraction of the entertainment of the town. Now, we just entered the Tuishi Gardens, and this building and gardens were built by Ren Lansheng, who was once an officer, but after being sued and removed from office, he was forced to retire here. He came here and named it the Tuishian Gardens, which means retreating and reflecting. Now, he was a skilled poet and a painter, and you will see that as we go through the gardens. This is the true tea room, or rather the tea hall, and then we'll go through the main hall and then into the inner house called the Wandu building. And here you enter the rest of the house. So through corridors, other corridor this way. It comprises of 5 two-story buildings linked by dual porches to create a U-shape, going out onto the open area here. And here is the next hall, or the next room, again with its entrance. The doors can open or closed. And this was a grand reception hall where they obviously, like the lounge today. It's pretty same furniture in here. Just imagine the old guy sitting there. And it's laid out in 3 sections. First here in the west is where we are now, is the residence area. The stairways under the porches separate the master and servant residences, and the inner and outer part of the house appear both separable and integrated, creating a very compact layout. Children lived upstairs, and the husband obviously had either one wife or more, but the firstborn son actually lived downstairs. His room was downstairs, and he obviously later became the sort of the king of this house and mansion. As I said, there were 3 sections. We already seen the reception area, and this is sort of their living area now, where they lived. Their music instruments is here, their board games is here, their books or whatever. They were reading here, and this is the living space where everybody just lived. Nothing formal. The front part was the lounge, and a typical example of a child doing homework, learning to write. This is what they used to learn to write, to convey stories. This was the sort of books carved out on bamboo. And then obviously later it became the typical paper rolls. Exiting the garden here, you can see the place where they used to sit down, and this is a sort of transient to the exit to the garden. This is exiting the garden, and that's now the open garden on the outside. And this is, because this guy was a poet and a writer, you can just see that this is laid out just for that. And just like pretty much like Paris now, art schools and artists come here, and there's always artists sitting here and doing some paintings. I could just live here. Then we got lost for a while. I think we went into areas we were not really supposed to go. But we ended up inside this area where they lived, where the people actually lived. I don't think it is supposed for tourists to come here. And yeah, this is the inner workings of the houses. And yeah, we just wandered through, and yeah, it was quite an experience. We're hungry. Quickly find something to eat. Everything else is out of clothes because it's cold. Now, obviously, you haven't visited Tongli if you didn't go for a gondola ride around this little town. That's exactly what we do, and yeah, it's just magic to see the little town and all the low bridges and everything that's so beautiful around here. Tongli is surrounded by 5 lakes, and it's lined with streets and lanes alongside the rivers and the numerous ancient bridges and canals. It was built in various dynasties, and some of these bridges still stand as highlights in Tongli, silently telling the stories of and legends of the ancient town. Now, the 3 bridges refers to the Taiping Bridge, which was built in 1913, the Jili Bridge, built in 1987, and the Changqing Bridge, built in 1470 and rebuilt in 1704. And each has its own unique meaning for the local. It is custom for the locals to walk across these bridges during happy events such as wedding ceremonies. It symbolized for them good health throughout the year by walking over the Taiping Bridge, to be prosperous in business by walking over the Jili Bridge, and have an evergreen life by walking over the Changqing Bridge. The oldest bridge in Tongli, the Siben Bridge, was built in the southern Song Dynasty between 1127 and 1279, somewhere there. And it still stands after being exposed to wind and rain for over 7 years. 700 years.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah.
Cash in the bag,
steady on path. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack.
I'm not quite sure, but I think we're at the entrance to the Pole Tower now. Now the Pole Tower is not really a tower. Pole Tower is a garden, which is also named Chen Chu Hifu. And this is now in the north of the city. Now the Pole Tower consists of 4 major buildings. First one which we're going to enter here, and some backyards and arches and ancestral halls, as they call it. Now during the Ming Dynasty, this Pole Tower garden was one Mr. Cheng Wangdao's residence, and it's also the source of the famous sea opera Pole Tower. Now typically outside of every building you find a water pot, which is used to, supposedly used to kill the fire. As you can see here, this whole building is just made of wood and it's quite dry, so when it catches fire it goes quickly. Yeah, this is where the master of the house used to be carried in around. It was his car with the slaves carrying him. Now you'll tell me if you've seen one Chinese building, you've seen them all. But yes, there's a lot of history here. A lot of things that's been, people that lived here. And I'm always wondering, 300 years ago, what happened in this place. Through the swinging doors, we thought these type of swinging doors was new in the world. No, they're not. Look at this beautiful porcelain pots here. Okay, so I guess I had many places to sit and many times, or much time to sit down in these places. Yeah, this is another typical place. Pillars of wood here keeping the roof off. The roof is beautiful, beautiful. And then table with 2 main chairs and 4 chairs around it. And this is typically the lounge area. This one is called the Great Plan Hall. And this is where they planned their stuff, the Qin family, and entertained their guests. Out of the planning room, again, open area into the outside. We go to the next floor. This was the house hall, and here, as you can see, they mostly entertained relatives. It was for the family, not for the guests. But typically, if they had guests, the guests would be in the front hall. Children will be in this hall, just as always. Now we're into the reading room. And this was almost a Chen's private room where he came to sit and read. Probably also taught in here his subordinates. Runs out here onto this tree here in the garden outside. Another private little garden here, probably a living quarters, now been turned into a shop. This This is actually a spring that they discovered here when they dug the foundations, and then only 3 feet underground. That meant they had fresh water inside the house the whole time. Now, typical like the other ones, this is open in the middle, and yeah, the roof is open between the two buildings, and then you enter the next place, or the next living area. Down the hall we go. The stove inside there, and then there's where you cooked. Here are some other utensils in the kitchen.
Better name, society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
Now this is the ceremonial gateway into the ancestral hall. And then also into this absolute lovely place here. Look at this. If you live here, you can probably live here another 400 years. What is there to stress about? And then to top it all off, and finally here in Mr. Chen's house was the ancient stage where they performed for him, and all the people sat down here and watched his performance. Tide again, sun is going down slowly. I haven't seen all of Tongli, but I think we've seen enough. And we're back at the main reception area. It was a long day in Tongli, and this is where we started this morning. No, we're not the same place, we had another exit, but with a boat coming down the river. So after a long day in Tongli, we will let the sun set over Tongli, return to our hotel, and tomorrow we will continue with new adventures. If you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe below, it's free, and we'll bring you a lot more lovely stuff in the next couple of days. Good night. Now, Tongli house is a typical Ming Dynasty type house.